Yo, what's up, solutionaries? Welcome to the Maj 2 Ray Show. Hope you guys all had an amazing Easter, amazing time with family, great food. Hope you guys are staying healthy, still on your solutionary 9, making sure you're on top of that. Y'all know the routine. Come on in. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what platform you're watching on: Facebook, X, YouTube, whatever. Comment. Let's chop it up. We're gonna talk about this topic today, man, is strangely very close to home for me. For those of you that have been familiar with my content and follow me on X and Instagram and all of that, you guys kind of got a better understanding of it. But tonight's topic: Shannon Sharpe accused of sexual assault, battery, and a $50 million civil lawsuit. Now, this is wild, and it's not wild, but it's wilder than it's wild, but it's way more commonplace than it should be. But anyway, we're gonna talk about that tonight. Tonight's conversation is going to be very, very hard hitting and honest, and coming from you know, this is a problem, and we got to treat it as such. Quantel says I'm a hard guy to get in touch with. Yeah, I tend to be. I am. You on the you are you on Quantel? Are you on the what you call it, Telegram group? If you're in a Telegram group, guys, one of the quickest ways to get in contact with me is through the Telegram group. So if you guys are in a Telegram group, shoot me a DM on Telegram if you follow me on there, or if you're in a group. If you're not in the group, today at midnight is the last day to get access to our private Telegram group. After today, it was supposed to be yesterday, but I was moving around, holidays, had a great time with friends and family. I just want everybody to understand that this Telegram group is a solid group of people that really want to move forward and be constructive, solutionary. So that's usually one of the best ways to get in contact with me, or email me, maj2ray@solutionaryuniversity.org. But it's been a lot going on. But anyway, guys, comment. We got 91 folks watching. Quantel, the only one that says something. What's going on, y'all? Y'all know the routine. Because it's a Monday. It's a Monday. I guess everybody energy low. What's that about? Guys, comment in the section, boost the algorithm, hit the like button, smash the like button, hit the share button if you're watching on X, repost. Just repost a live. That's super easy. You hit one button, quote post, you comment, hey, check this out, da 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 da. But anyway, guys, since you're on some Hollywood a little bit right now, okay? Quantel says I was and for some reason kicked out. I'm not sure, brother. Just join back in the group again, or shoot me an email after this, or DM. RT says, now, guys, again, we're talking about this $50 million sexual assault civil case, not criminal. These people are insane. Okay, they go civil a lot of times. I don't get me wrong. This is heinous either way, and obviously, as we unfold the story and unpack it, we're gonna go through some of the text messages. We're gonna go through some of that tonight. But this is a heinous situation. What these women do, all right, or these people do. Okay, but man, that, like, it's like so obvious, but this is like the worst shit. And again, I have a personal stake in these types of situations, because some of y'all may not know, I was falsely accused of something like this, and I've had people try to use this against me after that. Sometimes, even when you're honest about your truth about these types of things, people will try to use that against you later, and that's happened to me before too. Okay, but we're gonna read everything. Media Maniac says, even on YouTube from Syracuse, New York. I heard she's the woman who was getting it on the Instagram live debacle last year. I wouldn't be surprised. Bookworm, what's up? Quentin is in St. Louis. What's up? Antoine says, good evening all. First time checking in on YouTube, checking in from Delaware County. What's up, Antoine? So this story's kind of crazy, because now what who was that just said it? Media Maniac. If y'all remember last year, not way back last year, but there was a video of Shannon Sharpe. Ooh, like he went live and allegedly was like, "Yo, I made a mistake," and And allegedly, this is the shorty, but I think somebody's saying Michelle in that video, but this is a different young lady. Mm. Or the name is different. The name is different. Maybe that was their weird, and I ain't gonna say weird. I ain't gonna kink shame nobody, but that was their thing. Maybe it was the role play type vibe. But anyway, let's read this real quick, y'all. Shannon Sharpe accused of sexual assault, battery, and a $50 million civil lawsuit. Pro Football Hall of Fame and media personality Shannon Sharpe is facing a lawsuit accused of sexual assault and battery and engaging in the intentional infliction of emotional distress. See, even that line right there, the intentional infliction of emotional distress. Shut the fuck up. That's all right. It's bad enough that you go, all right, we're gonna say you did this, and it's the charges are the charges, but adding the extra sauce on it is always an indication to me of something stupid happening. But anyway. Lawsuit was filed Sunday in Clark County, Nevada, and obtained by U.S. Today Sports. The plaintiff, listed under the alias Jane Doe, says she was in a relationship with Sharpe for nearly 2 years, and it began as a rocky, consensual relationship. The woman, who is seeking $50 million in damages, says she met Sharpe at a Los Angeles gym in 2023 when she was 19 and alleges that the lawsuit that Sharpe, who is currently 56 years old, sexually assaulted her twice, once in October 24 and again in January 2025. Okay, here's the thing, guys. She's saying it happened in October and then again in January. If somebody sexually assaults you, how are you kicking it with them again? So it happened then it happens again. So that's cat. But let's keep reading. Let's keep reading, guys. In a statement released Monday, Sharpe's attorney Lanny J Davis called the lawsuit, quote, a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It's filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations that will not succeed. The woman says Sharpe became violent over the course of the relationship, threatened to kill her during one incident, and recorded their sexual encounters without her consent. Quote, Sharpe flew into fits of anger when the plaintiff noted his infidelity to their relationship or called him out about his extraneous activities, the lawsuit said. What had once been manipulation, control, and intimidation now became something far more dangerous and sinister. Sharpe even figured out how to get into Doe's apartment complex without her permission. Sharpe made it clear that what Doe wanted was of no moment, that Sharpe would get what he wanted when he wanted. In October 24, Shannon Sharpe violently sexually assaulted the plaintiff on two separate occasions in Las Vegas, ignoring her request to stop, the lawsuit says. Jane Doe is represented by attorneys Tony Busby and Makai Nash. Tony Busby is the same attorney that lied and said his client said Jay-Z and Diddy group raped this girl when she was 15. And the story fell all the way apart. That's Tony Busby. That's the attorney that she got. He is known for being a try to just throw a bunch of money out there. And because a lot of celebrities tend to be in solid shit or weird shit and they don't want to talk about it, they just pay a settlement. Okay? So that's who her attorney is, which does not look like a good look from my perspective. Busby was part of the legal team that won settlements against Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson after more than 24 massage therapists accused him of sexual misconduct. Let me stop right there for a second, y'all. It becomes a snowball. In my experience, I was falsely accused years ago of something like this. Girl didn't show up, case gets thrown out, whatever, right? People that I shared that I've been very upfront about this story with everybody. Every so often, somebody will use this story to try to be like, yo, this is up with Maj and da 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 da, and he this, that, and the third, and they'll say all of this shit. And I won't go all the way into it. I've made the video, it's on my YouTube channel, whatever. But every so often, people will bring it back up. And I've always been transparent about it. I've always been, nah, here's what happened, blah, 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 blah. Story never changed because you don't got to change the story when it's the truth. My point is, later on, people have found out about this. Some people, every like once a year or two, somebody will try to dox me with the paperwork, right? Or they'll say, so I've had other people try to use that story and try to package it like, yeah, because he might have, like, insinuate that I did it to them. Just whatever the fuck. Like, now here's the thing. Adults have consensual desires, and I've known of people that, and I won't get too deep into it, but I know of people that have been in to this thing called consensual, non-consensual. Some people, it's just whatever your float is. What you float, whatever your boat is. Okay. The problem is right after somebody's about to be on, he allegedly Shannon Sharpe is up for $100 million contract with this media thing, and now here comes somebody saying this, and they want to sue him for $50 million. Uh, guys, this is bad. Now, let me be clear. If this happened, this girl dumb as a box of nails. If this really happened, right? The fact that you went back tells me something. It tells me something, okay? If, let's say, that was to any of you, if male or female, because I don't want anybody to feel offended that feel left out, right? If something like that was to happen to you, in the show, give me a show with your perspective in the comments. If this happened to you, if you were sexually assaulted in October of 2024, would you go back to potentially be assaulted in January of 2025? Just tell me in the comment section. What y'all think about that? Hey, if somebody did that to me, I would kind of give them the benefit, because maybe you do. I would give them the benefit of a doubt. Or you just like, nah. I mean, unless it's something, we're not talking about what your kink is, because I don't kink shame nobody. I don't. I am a man that has been around a lot of beautiful women, and people be into what they into. And I'm not judging nobody as an adult for making any adult decision. If the person is over, if the people are involved and they over 18, they can make logical decisions, and they, you know what I mean? But to say I got assaulted in October and then show back up, and then October to January is 2 months, bruh. November, December, January, you right back at it. Okay? So y'all tell me in the comment section, tell me if I'm tripping, because I don't want to seem insensitive. On one level, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if somebody is gonna just try to spin me. But I promise y'all, I'm genuinely not trying to be like offensive to anyone. Because these types of things in reality happen. But when we start looking at this from the gate, you got the bullshit attorney. This is the same thing that I said about Carmelo Anthony's family, right? That guy that they got speaking for them, Dominique Alexander, he shouldn't fucking be around. He's not their attorney. He shouldn't be around. That's my argument. But in this scenario, she went to go get Tony Busby, and that Jay-Z and them and Rock Nation lawyers just totally dismantled his argument. It was done in 5 minutes. Okay? So it's not a good look. Then you say, oh, he did it to me. We had a 2-year relationship. He did it to me the one time. It was increasingly aggressive. Happened in October. Then it happened in January. Tell me where I'm wrong. New Lieutenant, what's up in Philly? Guys, tell me in the comment section. I want to hear y'all perspective before I jump into this, right? Shadow Band says they can't have a black man clean after having to ditch dirty Skip Bayless. Now, look, here's my thing to that. Shannon Sharpe said on the interview with somebody, I can't remember who it was. He said he don't even get in elevators with women I'm good. I ain't getting in the elevator. Ain't no camera. I ain't getting in the elevator, just me and that woman. So it tells me he has a thought process about false accusations. Now, my argument is, well, shit, how did he get with this one? Now, maybe this is his person that they got their thing going. They into what they into. And again, I'm gonna read what Shannon reposted, which are some of his texts saying that this is what the woman sent to him. I'm gonna read them tonight for y'all. But I want to hear y'all perspective on this, because I'm biased. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna try to be as objective as possible, but I have a bias. I have hatred for women that do this type of shit to men. Hate. And my hatred, I pick my words very carefully. My hatred could potentially clog my vision or cloud my vision, and I could come off a little bit biased, because I am biased. So I want to hear for y'all. Justin Vanderpool says, are there any handcuffs being placed on bro by a government official? Only a lawsuit. Things that make you go, They go straight to let's get the bag. Let's get the bag. Corey Brook says, Tony Busby and her up to something. I'm inclined to believe it. But let me be the devil's advocate, which is a weird statement. The phrase is crazy. Is it possible, in your perspective, right, or highly likely, because everything's possible, is it highly likely that he did get aggressive and it started as a kink? Because I'm gonna be okay. Let me push the other argument. It was started as a kink and just aggressive physical interaction turns into him wilding out. Do we think that that's what we view Shannon Sharpe as? And I want to hear from you guys in the comment section too, as well as, do we think that if it did happen, why does it go from October this happened and why didn't you leave then? Keimer Shadow says, my coworker that everybody at work loved except for two hating ABs got fired last week for SH allegations. And the crazy thing about the allegations is the allegations don't never get cleaned up the same way with the same energy as they've been presented. You know what I'm saying? Bookworm says, no, it didn't come out till rumors of his new contract. Let's read a little bit on that. Let me look at that real quick. Let's see if they go into it. It says, Davis's statement included several explicit text messages allegedly sent from Doe to Sharpe in order to set the record straight. Mr. Sharpe, quote, Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially the gross lie of rape, and will not submit to what he sees as an egregious attempt at blackmail, Davis said in a statement. He stands firmly by the truth and is prepared to fight these false claims vigorously in court. He looks forward to vindication through due process and a judgment based on facts and the law. All right, now, here, y'all, right here. This is the statement by the attorney with the text messages that the actual girl sent to Shannon Sharpe. And this, again, this hits very close to home for me. Because let me tell you all this quick story before we move on. And guys, if you're watching, please support the work. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. You guys know you tapping into the Maj Toure Show Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We talk about pop culture. We talk about politics. We talk about all of these things, but we turn them into solutions. We only discuss it if we can turn it into a solution. Outside of that, solutionaryuniversity.org is where you guys can go to learn. We got firearms basics classes up there. You can take them at your leisure. It's a whole module. You can pause the video, stop, whatever, take the whole week to take it. Civics class, same thing. Go over to solutionaryuniversity.org. I want everybody to make sure that you're talking about the understanding imminent threat. You're talking about the civics. You're talking about firearms basics. We got to make sure we informing each other. Now, lastly, guys, I want everybody to support the work. You guys know that all of our in-person classes are free to all because of your voluntary donations. We're talking about firearms basics. We're talking about our Stop the Bleed classes. Obviously, conflict resolution. Any in-person class at the Solutionary Center and across the country, if it's in person and if it's hosted by us, it's been free to all because of your voluntary donations. We now need 980 more donors at the $100 level to buy our Solutionary Center. So I'm going to give some shouts, some donor shouts. Guys, help out. Be a Super Chat member. Super Chat $20 or more if we can get 10 folks every episode. That's $200 an episode. We appreciate you all for that. As well as, if you want to be a donor at the $100 level to help us knock down this building fund, if you want to do that, you get access to the Solutionary 9 meal plans, workout routines, shooting drills, all of the classes, all of the curriculums, the Solutionary 9 Telegram group, private group, all of those things for your donation. Please, guys, support the work. That work is at givesendgo.com/solutionary. Now, Big Rob says, maybe some roid rage. I don't know if I don't know if Shannon's on this on the juice. And listen, let me be clear. I want y'all to be very, very clear. I'm not mad at anybody for being on steroids. I might be on steroids. You never know. I might be on testosterone. Testosterone is not a replacement therapy. Is not a steroid. But anyway, I might be on trend. You never know. Maj might want to get absolutely swole paws. Okay, this summer. But nonetheless, I'm not mad at him if he's doing all of the steroids. And I think Shannon, 57, 56 years old, looks great. Looks great. I think he works out. I think he takes care of himself. He ain't beating them damn allegations by looking so, absolutely stunning all of the time. Hair always shaved. That video the rumor's been talking about Shannon, for a minute. He might be playing for the other team. And that video of him and, oh, Michelle, that live that came out last year wasn't helping him beat them allegations. But this right here does. It's starting to make it look like Unc out here slam dunking him. Ah, if Unc out here slam dunking him, he got the bunnies. You know what I mean? He slam dunking the bunnies and the Jane Does. He might be beating some of those allegations as it relates to his sexual preferences. But this text message right here with the attorney, his attorney that he reposted, this don't look like he beating them. He got some strange sexual proclivities. Okay, but anyway, guys, right down below me is the GiveSendGo link, guys. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary, as well as if you're watching this on X, that video up above my pinned post. Hit it. Watch the video. Share it all over the place. We need 980 more donors at the $100 level. We need everybody's support. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave that donor link up for a little bit. Put this on in the background. Don't forget, hit the link. Go donate 20, 40, 50, 100 bucks, whatever. For those of you that want to donate the $100 level, I'm going to email you immediately what access to the Solutionary 9 is and all of that. So you have access to all of those things that I mentioned. But anyway, lastly, y'all guys coming in the chat, make sure you hit the like button. If you're watching on X, repost, Facebook, copy link, paste, all of that. Y'all know how it go. Share the space all over the place. All right, now, this video, this thread, this right here is the statement from his attorney, Lanny J. Davis, talking about this is cat in so many words, and this is what homegirl said, right? Now, I keep meticulous records of the bullshit that people send me. Because after you've been falsely accused of something and have had other people try to make it seem like, oh yeah, that's you, that's what you into, X, Y, and Z, right? Because I've had that. I've had those people do that. I keep meticulous records of a text message thread, email. I got emails since from 20 years ago. Okay? I generally don't delete shit for reasons like this. Let's read this. First, I'm going to scoot down to see what the lawyer said. Then we're going to go back up to them texts. This lawsuit filed by Gabriella Zuniga. Now, mind you, she tried to be posted originally as a Jane Doe. But the lawsuit is filed by Gabriella Zuniga. Okay? So that whole Jane Doe trying to civic sue somebody and hide your identity bullshit so you can get the best of both worlds? Absolutely not. Gabriella Zuniga, and orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Busby, again, the attorney that lied about Jay-Z group raping some teenager at the time with Diddy. He lost all credibility to me after that one. The fact that he's right out there again, like, yeah, let's throw it out there, is asinine. But anyway, is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed. In her effort to extract a large financial settlement, see, this is what they do. They say a big number, they threaten the person, and the person say, all right, man, I'm gonna just give you this and let's get this done. Okay? Because when you go to court, it can leave a whole bunch of doors that open that go to other things, and then it's money and resources and time. So sometimes it ain't even about that you did something wrong. It's just, all right, get this shit out of here. I got more important things to deal with. And again, there's rumors of Shannon Sharpe having $100 million contract coming up. Okay? In her effort to extract a large financial settlement, Miss Zuniga presented Mr. Sharpe with a secretly recorded video of a consensual sexual encounter. We believe the video has been heavily edited and taken entirely out of context, crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. Ms. Zuniga has refused to provide a copy of the full unedited version of the recording to Mr. Sharpe's legal team. To set the record straight, we are releasing several of Mrs. Zuniga's own explicit text messages to Mr. Sharpe that clearly indicate the nature of their relationship was consensual and sexual in nature, and in many cases, initiated by her with specific and graphic requests. Contrary to the allegations she makes in her lawsuit, consensual sex continued until January 2nd, 2025, the day after she asked for $25,000 per cheek. $25,000 per cheek, per butt cheek. 25 and 25. I need 50 grand per butt cheek. I need per for that ass. I need 25 on one, 25 on the other. And I'm gonna read the text. The day after she asked for $25,000 per cheek. So basically, the sex consensually continued until he disagreed to give her 50 grand. It's always about the money, y'all. It's always about control dynamics and money. That's it. Not always. Some people actually do this shit. So I don't want to come off again. It's not my intent to come off to offensive to real victims. The unfortunate part about this type of obvious frivolous bullshit is it actually muddies the waters for actual victims of this type of shit. As much as people don't want to, might not want to acknowledge that. The day after she asked for $25,000 per cheek, as quoted above from her text to Mr. Sharpe. There are other examples of text from Mr. Zuniga. For example, I'm going to go back real quick and read these texts. Stay at the top of this little thing right here. Quote, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're fucking me. That's her sending the text to Shannon Sharpe. I got a whole bunch of these in my old phones. If you, listen, ladies, if you hopped in my DMs, sent me boob pics, anything, if you texted me back and forth anything sexual, I got it. I got whether we did something, whether we did not do something, I fucking have it. Because I know how this go. All too well. And we see it. Forget me. We see it all over the place. We see it all over the place. This massive fake overcorrection of the so-called Me Too movement, which existed because men was being absolute Neanderthals, but a lot of it was not men being Neanderthals. It got turned into this like weird, like everything is sexual, whatever, right? And then now it started to damage male-female relationships and interactions. It impacts women getting hired on the workplace. I can't hire a woman. She might feel like I'm doing something wrong, and no, thank you. Right? These things happen. So this massive weird overcorrection that wasn't really an overcorrection is because of both sides playing the game wrong. And now the pendulum's swinging too far. Now women just saying shit. And if it's bags to be got, if a person is like, all right, it's only 50 grand, just send it to her. If you worth 50, you about to get $100 million contract. We don't care. I could cut her off and we get an NDA, which is what he should have had, but he didn't. If you now, my argument is if you found someone that you got your adults, consenting adults, and y'all have a different sexual whatever, and it's different to me, maybe, right? You might feel, or Shannon Sharpe might feel like this is my person. I ain't got to be running through 20, 40, 30 hoes, but I got one. I got me something, a little 20-year-old whoop, 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 consensual adult situation. That may be what he's thought. But then when he starts saying, nah, I'm good after she asked for the $50,000, now this show up. He's potentially getting 100 million. People rarely, they're not mad at you for what you do to them. People a lot of times are mad for what you won't do for them, if that makes sense. Okay? So these things happen. Let's go back to some of the text. I know you missed this big juicy ass. 25K for each cheek. Okay? Let's read some more. This is wild. Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever then you can do. I'm assuming this means then you can do whatever you want to me. That's what I'm assuming that means. Quote, I want to put my tongue in your asshole and then marry you. This is her sending texts to him. You got to be the dumbest motherfucker this side of creation to know that this exists, to know that you supposedly said a sexual act happened or sexual assault, knowing that you went back and kicked it with the motherfucker again, then going civil, knowing that there's a paper trail of all of these things. You got to be the dumbest individual ever. Okay? Quote, next one. That's my daddy. Fuck, I want you to put a big black baby in me. I'm assuming that maybe they in the race play. I can't see her being a sister. She might not. I don't think she's African American, guys. And it's not. Hey, if she's not, that's their thing. I'm not knocking nothing. But what I am saying, I want you to put a big black baby in me. Maybe they into the race play. Some of my black dudes that got white girls, we talk about certain shit, they into it. And they go a little bit more than just saying, put the black baby in me, if you get my drift. There's some words that I ain't going to repeat on the Maj 2 ratio. A lot of y'all got virgin ears. But let's read a little bit more. You better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. These messages are just a sampling of a broader pattern of graphic, sexual communications initiated by Mrs. Zuniga. The evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual adult relationship that included role playing, sexual language, and fantasy scenarios explicitly requested by Mrs. Zuniga. The case is over right there. I want y'all to be very clear. Right there, the case is over. It's done. It's a done bun. It's a done bun. Now, this is what they given to the public. I'm willing to bet they got video footage. They got more emails. They got this is just a let's put this out there to protect the $100 million contract. A lot more that's gonna get if it go further. That's gonna go into what's it called? The evidence will be shared with both sides at damn, what's the name of that? Uh I forget there's a phrase where they go into you gotta share all of the evidence with both sides. Okay? It's not exploration, I forget it's not discovery. That's what it's called. Good job, bookworm. Discovery. Herman says 50 M's is insane. But see, that's the key. The cap is not to get really 50 million. The cap is to get, we keep it quiet. We try to get him with a little request first. If he don't respond well enough, we go a big number out there. And then they go, oh, we can make this go away for a little quick 500,000. Okay? That's the play. But this case is over. If you, listen, when you jump out there fast, and you say, when these celebrities jump out there fast and they go, absolutely, like Jay-Z, as soon as the Rock Nation lawyer put out a statement, then they got the PI dude behind him and was like, absolutely. Absolutely not. Let's jump right out there. This ain't this ain't that. And this Tony Busby guy tried to shake me down, and I'm Jay-Z, I'm from Brooklyn, this shit ain't happening, nobody gonna extort me, da-da-da-da. When that happens immediately, I am more inclined to be like, yup, this cat, this is 1,000% cat. Because sometimes the lawyers give bad intel and say, be quiet about it. And I can see both sides, don't get me wrong. But when it's an absolute Jay-Z, no way, raped a 15-year-old girl after a movie award party at the biggest, at the time, was the biggest thing on the universe. Absolutely not. The girl didn't know her story. Absolutely not. Jump right out there. Now, as other times you want to play certain things close to the hip. Again, the young lady that falsely accused me of rape, and this is very close to home. I've had Second Amendment people put my paperwork out there as if the case I wasn't like, boom, the case wasn't tossed. It was bullshit. I've had that same girl show up to me, and I have footage and video of the same girl. She like a cracked out, smoked, doped out fiend right now. I ran into the same girl. Maj Toure, I heard you got rich. Dope the fuck out. I said, yo, what's up? I didn't recognize who she was at first, right? She homeless and she a drug addict. Fucking insane right now, okay? I saw her. I said, yo, what's up? And I said, what's up with you? And got a video. I said, let's get a video. She agreed to get in the video. Why? I've already been proven innocent. That's not my argument. My argument is for the peanut gallery to try to toss that shit out later. My argument is for people that try to say, oh, I'm going to try to say this about him because I learned that about him then. Then it's a part of his... No, I got video with a girl that falsely accused me of rape, smiling and laughing, even as a homeless woman now, fucking attempting to like be flirtatious with me. I have that. I have that in my phone right now. If you ever sent me anything sexual, if it was, listen, if it's consensual and you ain't trying to trick me and get me, it's no problem. Nobody will ever see it. Ever. That'll stay between me and you. Right? But if you try to play me as I continue to go up this pyramid, you about to get all the way fucked up. You about to get all the way fucked up. I got everything. And this situation right here, what they just released, that just 1,000% shows they just here. This some of the shit that she said to me, and you talking about it was sex. Even with that, it was sexually assault, right? Okay, if it happened in October, How the fuck do we get to January? How did we get to January? Listen, y'all. This shit is wild. Right after I'm talking about getting $100 million contract. But listen, I want to hear some pushback. Tell me where I'm wrong, y'all. Tell me where I'm wrong in the comment sections. Because again, I'm biased. I don't believe anybody. I don't believe nobody. If you a woman and you say, I believe rape is violent. I believe it I have daughters. Okay? If my daughters say, as young women or whatever, say somebody you better believe if the answer is no, and if you try to put your hands on my daughters, they are well within their rights to fuck you up. And the rape needs to be scratches, it needs to be this, but it ain't. He said, yo, you want to give me some head? And you gave it to him. And he ain't try to hit you or none of that. That's not rape, and that's not sexual assault. I want to be clear on this. Okay? But if this what this girl is talking about, this, and what is her name? Zuniga? This shit ain't, come on, that shit cat. And again, tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm in the comment section, y'all think I'm being insensitive, y'all got a different angle, tell me. But I don't see it. Listen, this is what she's saying to him. This is what she's saying to him. The messages are just a sampling of a broader pattern of graphic sexual communication initiated by Mrs. Zuniga. The evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual adult relationship that included role playing sexual language and fantasy scenarios explicitly requested by Mrs. Zuniga. The edited tape that Mrs. Zuniga secretly taped and showed to Mr. Sharpe during her blackmail attempt tries to falsely portray, as a result of this editing, an out of context from prior text messages. That the sexual activity was not consensual. So she trying to put the spin, chop and screw the shit, take it out of context. Remember how they did that to Trump when Trump was like, there's very fine people on both sides. And then there's like 3 more minutes to that interview. And he was like, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis. The neo-Nazis should be condemned. And then the media chopped that one part and was like, Trump is saying the neo-Nazis is very fine people. The video exists with the whole fucking however long, but they chop and screw. That's what they are implying that she did here. Okay? Take it out of context. But Mr. Sharpe now believes her secret taping was all a part of her planned setup as part of her blackmail scheme, as distorted by her edited tape, a copy of which she refused to make available to Mr. Sharpe or his counsel. Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion of misconduct, especially the gross lie of rape, will not submit to what he sees as egregious attempt at blackmail. He stands firmly by the truth and is prepared to fight these false claims vigorously in court. He looks forward to vindication through due process and a judgment based on the facts and law. Listen, y'all, this type of shit is way more wild, and it's way more often than sometimes we think. Okay? Sometimes people don't expect you to release all of this shit. I'm telling y'all right now, any chick, any chick that I did anything with, if you sent me a video with them big old boobs, or that bosom, or that rear end, or that, and I got it. I got it. I will never share your name, your identity, or the visuals with anyone other than my hard drive. But you jump out there and try to play me, I'm gonna light you the fuck up. We gonna put some money on the side for some motherfucking attorneys, and we gonna get you. Bookworm says she did not expect him to release the text messages she wanted to blackmail him. That's what it's looking like. New Lieutenant got a good perspective, says consent can stop at any point in a relationship, literally. Okay, let's go with that. Hold on, let me go back. Consent can stop at any point in a relationship, literally. You can be 2 strokes away from an orgasm, and if the person says stop, then it's no longer consensual. I'm inclined to agree with you to some extent there, and I'm mostly agreeing because I don't want nobody to spin my words. But let's talk about what you're just saying right here, okay? Let me go again to your point, And new lieutenant, you tell me if I'm wrong in this assessment, okay? You're saying someone has agreed to consensual sex with you, and y'all right into it, da 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 da. Y'all getting into it. You giving it 4 minutes of her life, 3 minutes in, and minute four, she say, wait, stop, and you get two more pumps in and you bust. Is that rape? Because that's what it sounds like you saying to me. But I want to be clear on what you presenting here. If you presenting that as that's rape, because you in mid stroke, you in mid stroke. If that's what you calling rape, I gotta disagree with that. I gotta disagree. At the risk of sounding insensitive and at the risk of sounding, because I don't want nobody to get no creep shit. Okay. At the risk of sounding that way, I want to be clear that this is how I'm taking what you're saying. Okay. Because if that's the case, every single men should stop having sex with women. If that's the argument that you're making right now, new lieutenant, and y'all tell me what, listen, y'all, tell me where I'm wrong here. Tell me where I'm wrong. If that's what you're saying, I gotta disagree. Okay, mid stroke is wild. I hope you've been doing your male kegels. Hope you got a strong prostate. Hope you've been, you know what I mean. And that's the problem. Again, if a woman says no and can leave, and leave. If a woman says no and you stop her from leaving, that's different. If a woman says no, and Bill Burr has a wild joke about this. Bill Burr been on some other shit lately, but nonetheless, Bill Burr has a joke when he says no doesn't mean no. He said no means no. But if you going, no, stop, you're so bad, we shouldn't do this. Oh my God, this is so, that's not a fucking no. And it was a great joke because context and nuance matters. Okay? It matters. So going back to my earlier argument of me saying, hey, if a motherfucker tell you no, and y'all ain't into that, and y'all don't have a CNC agreement or consensual, non-consensual understanding, right? Because some people I know bitches that's into aggressive sex. Aggressive. Something that you wouldn't believe. I promise you. You would not believe. However, I'm not going to shame them for their choices. I'm not. Because I'm not into all of that. Oh, my darling. Oh. I'm not into that shit. Right? But that being the case, that consent conversation about what you just said there, new lieutenant. Now I'm gonna scroll down a bit. Of you could be two strokes before the Yamin, and she go, stop. What are we doing? We playing fucking freeze tag out this bitch? Red light, green light. No, we ain't. This ain't the fucking Hunger Games. What is it called? The Chinese show. Green light, red light. Squid Games. We ain't doing that. But I do agree that if that woman says, hey, my mood has changed, and you ain't in it, and she like, nah, even if it ain't two strokes in, if you about to start and she like, hey, wait, you should stop. 1000%. I want to be clear. But if there's no standard. If that standard is just, oh, you two strokes in and I said no right before, and you got them last two and you bust up, that's rape. Absolutely not. Absolutely. If that's the new standard, men should never have sex with women. Ever. Herman said, what if you in the inward stroke and get told to stop? Do you just leave it in? Is it like freeze tag? Listen, these standards is getting ridiculous. We got to have some specifics around this joint. We do. ML Cream says the firing pin already hit. It's true. All right. New Lieutenant says, I agree with you, but I've seen many people on social media think that way. And that's what I'm saying. These weird... If I, as a man, let's use me for example, I'm handsome. Whenever I'm not trapped in an RV fundraising and actually like fucking shaving and looking decent, right? Let me be very clear. If a man is like, Maj, I need some of that. You a handsome, long hair having, sun kissed, beige motherfucker. I need some of that. I'll go, hey, appreciate the compliment, bro. That's your thing. I'm not into it. I'm glad you can, visualize me and take it home for your spank bank and all of that. But I'm just not into it, champ. And if he goes, no, but I got to have that. Well, no, you don't. Then you can't. And then if he says, well, Maj, I'm big in the Second Amendment community. I'm big in community activism. If you want your career to move forward as a content creator and as a Second Amendment advocate, I can get you there, but you're gonna have to gobble this meat. And then if I gobble the meat, pause. That's not rape. He offered and you did it. If I could walk out, if I could leave, if I could, even if he like, yo, I'm not going to give you money, I'm not going to get it. No, no, it's lame on his part, but it's not. It's, you know what I'm saying? Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, pause. You pause. Everybody, listen, y'all. I said pause. Okay. My point, guys, is we have to be clear on what our standard is. If that woman or man says absolutely not and they leave and you try to stop them, you force them, 1000% is assault. If it's not that, no. Do you guys know the story of Aziz Ansari? Give me a show of hands, give me a comment. Let me know if y'all aware of who Aziz Ansari is and his story around this sexual assault thing. Aziz, and if you heard of this, just comment as I start telling the story, right? Aziz Ansari met, he's a comedian, and he met this young lady, I think in Cali, and then he lives in New York at the time, and then they meet, and he says, hey, come back to my crib, da 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 da, and he insinuates that he wants her to, gobble him up, right? And so, as now, for those of you that don't know who Aziz Ansari is, he's the Indian comedian that was on Parks and Recreation. He's got a few stand-ups. He's been in a few movies, but y'all haven't heard from Aziz Ansari in about 4 or 5 years, if that, if not even longer. Okay, Aziz Ansari communicated with this young lady, right, and then they went back and forth, and she gobbled him up twice. Right? Yeah, the short guy. She gobbled him up twice in one night. Gobbled him. Right? Then she left, and she said. She started talking to her homegirl that she felt bad about it, this, that, and the third, right? Her homegirl said, oh, you were sexually assaulted. Homegirl wrote an article, it might be New Yorker or some shit like that. She writes an article in the New Yorker, and then it talks about that he was sexually assaulted. He sexually assaulted her. Now, she goes on in that article to say he didn't threaten her, he didn't force her. He just didn't pay attention to her nonverbal cues. I bullshit you not. He didn't pay attention to her nonverbal cues, which means she kind of was a little uncomfortable. And now this is where I all the way detached from this bullshit argument. And I dare one of y'all to jump in the comment section and jump out there and argue this point. I'm gonna destroy your position. Okay. This because she said he pointed down, they were kissing, whatever, whatever, and then they stopped and she fell back and then he reapproached and she wound up giving she wound up gobbling him up twice that night. That night. Okay? Two times. Throat go. Okay? She said he attention to her nonverbal cues, and the first thing that I thought to myself, get the fuck out of my face. Immediately out of my face. When you could get up and leave. You could get up and walk away. You could say, I'm not into that right now. But you did it not once, but twice. And none of us have seen Aziz Ansari in a movie, a TV show, a stand-up comedy ever since. Okay? It's real. Kymer says a girl at my work did that to another guy here too. Got him arrested and transferred out of here. That's why I can't talk to none of these females except for work-related stuff. This is the bigger danger. Now, look, we solutionaries. Let's talk. Y'all know me. I'm always going to figure out how the fucking government got something to do with it, right? This is the danger of this approach by a lot of women, or a decent amount of women. As I said earlier, Men don't want to hire women. If you're the employer, you don't want to hire women in this space. So it can make a very awkward scenario where you like the person that doesn't get on the elevator with women. This destroys, I believe that this is curated and promoted by big money to make sure that men and women don't trust each other. I want to be very clear. Men and women need each other, in my view. In my view. I don't know how other men, a lot of y'all listen to these red pill motherfuckers that turned red pill into something else. Men need women, women need men. That's it. Men need women to be good women. Good women need men to be good men. But this thing of like fear and all of that other shit, and the distance and the separation keeps men and women not working together. If men and women ain't working together, men and women ain't creating families. If men and women ain't creating families, it's much less generational wealth, because one of the biggest significant indicators of generational wealth is home ownership. So now the gender war going, as Media Maniac said. Okay. Now the gender war shit is happening. Now the men don't like the women don't like the men. Now there's no babies. Now all of this other weird shit happens. Now it's two households. Now the economy's fucked. Now this, that, and third. Now it's a psyop in my mind, a long-running psychological operation. To me, all because it's this thing. Then when don't let a man or a woman, such as myself, say, I don't subscribe to that man versus woman bullshit. Now there's another section of society that packages me as the simp. Oh, he's a simp because he no. Treating women as if the vast majority of them are what the minority of bullshit women do, and vice versa. I'm a victim to that. So even if a woman is like separated, she got divorced and she has a child. If I come into that woman's life, all right, that's my child too. I don't play this thing that like somehow men taking care of women and children is somehow simping. I just don't. But I can see how this would give men pause. Talk about menopause. Menopause right here. And go, absolutely not, because of the fear. But if I can make you fear as opposed to evaluate effectively, again, I have every single text, email, video since 2000. Since motherfuckers was talking about Y2K. I got it. Because I'm cautious, but I'm not fearful. I think that Shannon Sharpe here became very cautious, and I think because I'm not hearing too many stories with Shannon Sharpe and a bunch of women, but I'm not in LA. But nonetheless, I'm not hearing too much of that. Okay, my point is his situation might have just been, yo, I got one that I'm cool with, and we got an understanding, and we into the same things, and that's that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that you should be careful, obviously, as those text messages prove. And I think some of these women are really stupid. Because if you got that paper trail, why the fuck you even trying this? Oh, you trying it because he didn't give you $50,000, so now you want to try to sue him for $50 million. Stupid. Just really stupid. For those of you that don't know, Aziz Ansari had his career derailed by an interaction that was ultimately not worthy of a second date. So what happened? This is a lot easier to carry out when people don't have well-developed critical thinking skills. Agreed. As well. Hey, that's the funny joke. It's another joke that Patrice O'Neill took. Rest in peace to the great Patrice O'Neill. He said, "But should we really have bears working next to salmon? If I'm a bear and it's all this salmon in here dipped in honey," that was kind of the joke. And his point was men shouldn't work with women. Now, don't get me wrong. It depends on what type of work it is. Women, this is going to sound fucked up to some of y'all. In my experience, women are way better at administrative shit. They know how to handle the back end shit. Men is like visionaries, right? A good woman that knows how, like, that's why women, I'm sorry, I know how to run a household. Women do that shit better. And I'm not saying that as a diminishing type of job or perspective. I'm saying women are better at certain shit. So I think men and women should work together and find what their strengths are and their weaknesses and cater to the strengths while building the weaknesses, right? And both. However, I don't think that men and women should not work together. I think that there should be a respect for each other in a space and But I think that at certain points, men took advantage the 20s and shit when the women was just getting into the workforce. No cameras, no. The men was being fucking caveman, Neanderthals, troglodyte shit. Then the pendulum swung, and it made all of these boss girls, independent women, almost low key fuck men. Now it's an overcorrection. This scenario with Shannon Sharpe is a clear indication, and I'm gonna speak to the men right now. I'm gonna speak to because we're gonna wrap up. Guys, if you've got questions, put them in the comment section. If you're watching on X, share the space all over the place. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, copy and post the link, put it somewhere else. Guys, givesendgo.com/solutionary. We need everybody to support the work. All of our classes, in person, firearm safety, conflict resolution, stop the bleed, all free to all because of your voluntary donations. Givesendgo.com/solutionary. The link is my pinned post if you're watching this on X. There's a video up there explaining exactly what we do. We need 980 more donors at the $100 level. Pitch in at whatever level you can. Givesendgo.com/solutionary. Bookworm, can you put this on the screen so I can leave it up for the remainder of the show tonight? But anyway, guys, support the work. This content is able to happen. The Maj Toure Show, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. This is able to happen because of your support, but we need the support to keep all of the stuff going. Better content, better cameras. Don't nobody talk that shit like me, but a lot of these dudes that talk horribly, the fucking Nick Fuentes's and all of them goofballs, they got a nice camera setup. But right now I'm trapped in the RV. Help out building the studio, whatever it is, guys. Support the work, support the content. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. 980 more donors at the $100 level. We buy our building. Then we got a set forever. But anyway, I want to land on talking to the men here about this scenario. It's to the women as well, but more specifically to the men. You have to make very, very careful decisions, and you have to keep meticulous records. My nana used to say, day turn to night, play turn to fight. That means in the daytime it's cool, it's warm, it's nice, but night it get dark, and the night is full of fucking terrorists. Okay? It ain't $1 million setup, but I keep it clean. That's funny, right? Um, it's a thing where it's all good at one moment and it could go bad. Just keep meticulous records and play above board. Okay, play above board. Keep meticulous records. Respect everybody's thing. Respect their privacy and all of that. But protect yourself. But do not lead with antitrust. I want to say this to the men. Be professional, be respectful, communicate better, get an understanding of, and I'm not even saying don't pay attention to body language, because most of language is nonverbal. Okay, micro expressions, body language, these are real things. So I'm not saying it is okay for that chick to say Aziz didn't pay attention to my nonverbal cues, but it can't help, it can't hurt, can only help you to understand nonverbal cues as men, to recognize she doesn't feel comfortable. I remember the first time I met Scott Pressler in real life. Scott Pressler's gay, right? He's pause real quick because this is gonna be a fucking pause worthy sentence. Scott Pressler's like 6'9". He's got long hair like fucking Fabio, and by all intents and purposes, he's a handsome dude, right? And I saw him taking pictures. I think we was in Minnesota or some shit. Anyway, I saw him taking pictures with and the women, and he's gay. He clearly doesn't want these women. He said to every single one of them, he said, "Is it okay if I put my arm around you as we take this picture?" And I thought that was so respectful. Now, some people go, "Oh, that's that extra woke garbage." I can see how you could view it that way, but to me, it wasn't. It was him going out of his way to make sure that he got a consensual situation. Listen, anybody that I've been serious with, and y'all will never know, y'all won't know until we decide to go public if it's a person. When I meet people that I date, I'm straight up from the gate. This is what I want. This is what I'm into. I like you. We jumping right to it. You got to be a gobbler. You got to slurp and bounce. You got to, and I like you. And I'm telling you, not because I'm saying that's the only thing that we can do, but I want to make it very, very clear from the gate of what you're dealing with. Okay? And if y'all see a lot of times in pictures with me, if I don't have an established rapport with the woman, Yo, I do Keanu hover hands all the time. All the time. If especially if they attractive, oh, we doing the Keanu hands. We ain't playing them games. But if it's somebody that I know, I got rapport with, clearly, and my best judgment is like they ain't on that. Oh, okay, cool. That's the homie. That's the whatever. My point is, guys, don't let these minority of women that are playing this game, this fucked up game that's clearly coming to its end. Because nobody in the comment section right now is like, yeah, he did that shit. Nobody's on that. And they know that, damn, there's a lot of women that was overplaying the hand. My point is, don't allow the few to determine your many. And that lesson is so clear. Don't allow the fuck. It seemed like it's a lot of racism on social media. X, right? They are fucking bots by and large. I am not moved by any of that shit. Okay? We actually fundraised it. Every time I got called the N word, all right, somebody donate. This guy called me the N word again. Right? But when you go outside and touch grass and talk to your neighbors, they're cool. He happened to be white. He happened to be black. Who gives a fuck? Okay? My point is, guys, don't allow these minority of people that's doing the wrong thing to speak for the majority of people that want to live the right thing. But at the same time, men, you still gotta, protect yourself. Women, protect yourself. He might be cool and all of that, but don't leave if you don't know this person, don't leave your drink unattended. This is There's a thin line between these three things: fucking ignorance, personal protection, and paranoia. There's thin lines in between those. We're not out here asking for people to be fucking ignorant. That's stupid. We also not saying don't don't be paranoia. I just everything to get me. Your thoughts become your habits and things. Okay? The argument is to go, I'm gonna give the world the benefit over, but I'm also gonna protect. We can this to turn into a continuation of the war on the sexes. Gender wars. Vast majority of good people. We just not. And that is the balance as solutionaries. That is our job. I am not of the belief that Shannon Sharpe sexually assaulted this woman. I absolutely know by my lived experience a few times that people will pretend like they care about you, right? And use what they get from you to try to harm you. I 1000% know that women will lie about sexual assault because I lived it. And I know that people find out about that sexual assault, regardless of the fact that you were exonerated, they'll still try to use it against you. But I will never let that fucking harden my heart to the good of most people. I'm not. And you should not either as solutionaries. As solutionaries, our goal is family. Our goal is destroying of anything not in alignment with strengthening our communities and our families and our spirits. And fear doesn't feed faith. Our job is to make sure we're doing the things to feed our faith and strengthen our families, our communities, our nation, and our world. Anyway, guys, that's what we're going to wrap up for tonight. I will see you all tomorrow. Obviously, the same time, the same channel for the Maj Toure Show. YouTube.com/Maj Toure, 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, guys, that link right below. If you got some value from the show tonight, do me two huge favors, maybe three. One, share it all over the place. Cost you nothing. Copy and paste it if you saw it on YouTube. Put it on Facebook. Put it on Instagram in your stories. Put it on X, whatever. If you on X right now, if you're watching this after it's saved, quote post. Yo, check this space out on Shannon Sharpe. Quote post. Cost you nothing. Secondly, gonna ask you all to subscribe to the YouTube channel. YouTube.com/Maj Toure. I'm getting good at this YouTube thing. Trying to get better at it. We need more subscribers. So subscribe, support the work, okay? And lastly, I'm gonna ask everybody to donate. If you got 515 people in here, okay? Let's ask everybody to donate $20 at givesendgo.com/share. is free. YouTube.com/Maj2Ray and donate, guys. GiveSendGo.com/solution. If you're watching on X, it's my pinned post up above. You can see what our work is about. 980 more donors, and we buy our building, effectively keeping the classes, at least in Philly, free to all because of your voluntary donations and support. And I appreciate you all. See you all tomorrow. Be safe. Be solution.